Trent.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Trent,
The man that makes it all work.
The man that keeps it going there. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, John Ed. Thank you for coming by.
I'm going to check with Turk because I think you got an extra year.
Please do. I mean, I can still throw the long out route.
Yeah.
I just can't throw it twice in a game. And my elbow starts hurting.
Hey, if you know, there's been people that have changed transcripts before. Might need to do it here.
Hey, got a full bank, Bama Mike. Man, you have been very, very patient. Thank you for standing by. How you doing, Bama Mike?
What's going on, fellas?
All
What's
right.
going on?
Oh, what's happening?
Man, this D-liner kid, I don't know what to say. I mean, and for them to say the ball's in the coach's court, no.
Yeah, he's indefinitely suspended.
No. When you sit up there and tell the coach, you know, what he told him to go do, essentially you telling the coach, I don't need you, I don't need this team. So if he wants to play high school football, he needs to go back to that coach and apologize and say, hey, I was wrong, I did. Because it doesn't matter if the coach told you something that you didn't think was right. Hey, you in high school, you ain't in a position.
But Bama Mike, I don't care if this kid's committed to Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Tennessee, or Appalachian State.
Me either.
If he has told his coach to pretty much, and he's let down his teammates, and he's been arrested twice, why does Auburn need this guy?
Yeah, you bring that kid in, one bad apple spoil a bunch. You never seen a good apple make a bad bunch go good. So, I mean,
you know, when I say, the ball is in the coach's court, well, you're right, Bama Mike. If I'm D-liner, I'm walking back and saying, man, I'm sorry, I lost my temper, shouldn't have done it, all that. But then it's up to the coach. You know, he still may not let him back on the team.
Yeah, but that's the first step. That's the first step.
That needs to happen,
If this high school football coach goes back to D-liner, and first, you send a message to your team saying, hey, talent wins out over respect. That's something you can't lose at a high school program. Any level, you can't lose that. Because once your players start respecting your authority, it's done. You can't coach them anymore. And where's his parents in all of this? Somebody with some common sense should be talking to this kid.
Yeah.
It's like he's around a whole bunch of yes men. Nobody's telling him anything. You're wrong. Essentially, in high school, if the coach tell you to do something and you don't do it, you're wrong. You're not in a position to dictate what goes on like a professional can. And I mean, that's pretty much what I got to say about Auburn.
You're right.
Look at this guy.
You're exactly right. I agree with that, and maybe it'll get resolved. I think it will. I think it's got to, but maybe it won't. Appreciate the phone call, Bama Mike. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, good stuff. Speaking of Mike, Nick Saban was on Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio, a nationally syndicated radio program.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was. He did not call them buddy at the end of the interview, though, Barry.
You mean on that?
Look forward to having a great relationship with you in the future, buddy.
Yeah, he was on Dan Patrick earlier in the week. Anyway, I don't want to get off on all that, but Nick Saban, Barry, made a couple of statements on Mike and Mike this morning that I thought were very interesting, particularly this one. Where have you heard this before?
Oh boy.
When asked about the changing landscape of college football, Saban said, and I quote, "It's time to cut Division I football down to 60 or 70 teams.
No, he did.
And these teams need to be playing each other. I'm an advocate for playing 9 SEC games a season. We've increased our league 15%. We need to play one another."
I would imagine that if it was up to Nick Saban to determine which teams belong, Western Carolina wouldn't be on that list.
No.
Florida Atlantic wouldn't be. Western Kentucky wouldn't be on that list. I'm not sure if you ask him over, but anyway, those teams are on his schedule. They're evidently good enough to walk the fabled grass at Bryant-Denny Stadium. But just because we play them doesn't mean that they belong.
Well, Barry, a couple of notes there. You know, as I asked Nick Saban a couple of years ago about playing Troy, obviously he has no control over the scheduling because he said Mal Moore handles all of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess Mal got Florida International and Western Kentucky on the schedule. Don't know. But I do think Michigan is a nice.
That was good.
I think Michigan is a nice addition, being a top 10 team as they are. But Barry, I mean, is that a direct result of Saban listening to this radio program on a regular basis? Because I have been preaching the big boy conference for 20 years. Get rid of these bottom feeders. Get rid of these leeches. Let's have a league of about 60 teams and play one another. That's what D1 football ought to be about.
Now, I know he listens, but it's not because he's a regular listener to this program. It's because in Nick Saban's study in his office, you know, with the automatic door and everything, there's a sort of a bronze-looking bust of Bear Bryant, and every once in a while when he looks over there, Bear Bryant's eyes are flashing. That means he's got to go over there and flip the head back. Underneath there's a phone. He picks up the phone and, "Hey, Nick, long short. Tell you what, when you get on Mike and Mike, say something about the big boy conference. They'll love it. They'll eat it up. Say something about 9 SEC games. Trust me, go over big, all right?"
I'm doing all right, fellas. How y'all doing?
Just saying.
Because he's listening.
Just saying. Let's go to Workhorse, who's been standing by. How you doing, Workhorse?
I'm doing all right, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good, good.
Doing really well.
Nice, nice. You know I'm gonna throw that plug in again for the Dragon Boat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
Yes, the party on the river, and South University. They're gonna come in first, or at least they're gonna work hard for it. But we just come out and watch and have a great time.
South University, they're already rowing at a championship level. It's the Montgomery Dragon Boat Race and Festival this Saturday at the Riverfront Amphitheater and the docks. Food, children's activities in the Children's Village. Opening ceremonies at 8, first race at 8:30, and South University they're gunning for the gold, right, Workhorse?
Yes, sir. We're going for that golden paddle.
I hear you, man. It is a fabulous event Saturday down at the Riverwalk. The Dragon Boat races, 70 teams will participate this year, up from last year's 55. And man, it's even if you don't participate or don't even know anybody participating, just go down and check it out. It is a great, great atmosphere.
We'll have a great time. And Terry, the last time I called in, you had asked about South University's Taste of the South and how much we raised, and we needed 600. We raised over 700, and we're proud of reaching our goal also.
Love it.
Love it, love it.
Right.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
Auburn do play Clemson, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a game scheduled and everything. It's on the books. Selling tickets,
Well,
the whole deal.
I heard from Clemson in Carolina, they say dabble, dabble, do. Clemson is going to be all over you, Auburn.
Bring it. All right, Workhorse.
Yes, sir.
Dabo and the Clemson Tigers all over Auburn a week from Saturday. Workhorse.
Also, I got that from the word in North Carolina.
Well, they're actually in South Carolina, is Clemson. Last I checked,
Not
into
too
Barry.
far, but
yeah,
yeah.
Clemson is
Appreciate
in
it,
the state of
Workhorse.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
But we did reference Appy State earlier. Maybe he got confused because that is in North Carolina.
That is
TC.
He just said North
Doug.
Carolina.
Good morning. How you doing, Doug?
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Great. When you talked about pulling the